Typically, runners who experience shin splints have overused the stabilizing muscles of the ankle as well as the dorsiflexion of the foot. The space between the tibia and the fibula has a sheath wrapped around it called the periosteum. This sheath oftentimes is rubbed raw, creating inflammation and tension on the shin bone. The muscles lining the anterior portion of the shin is the tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, and extensor hallucis longus. Sitting on a chair in a figure 4 position, locate the edge of the tibia near the thick muscle tissue. To find the tissue we're working on, push the fingers to the edge of the tibia and drop directly into the muscle tissue. Then squeeze into the bone. Move up and down the shin vigorously. After 30 to 40 seconds working in that position, we will work the opposite side of the tibia with the thumbs. Press the fingers into the soft tissue on the opposite side of the shin. Drag the thumbs up and down vigorously for 30 to 40 seconds. Ensure you work all the way from the top to the bottom of the shin. If your fingers have a hard time tolerating the pressure, you can utilize a lacrosse ball. Holding the lacrosse ball cupped in your hand, press into the muscle tissue directly beside the tibia, working your way all the way from the top of the tibia down towards the ankle. Remember to use strong pressure directly near the bone. Continue the same kind of work on the inside portion of the tibia. Here, you can use pressure from your palm pressing into the muscle tissue, while your other hand cups the ball, allowing you to create the up and down motion. Another way to work the anterior tibialis is by sitting sideways on a foam roller and leaning forward, putting pressure down into the foam roller. Obviously, this takes some balance and coordination in order to keep the pressure on the foam roller. In this position, flex the foot and relax, making sure you squeeze the anterior tibialis. Once complete with the foam roller, in the same position, utilize the lacrosse ball, creating a more pinpointed pressure on the muscle. Work your way up and down the muscle tissue right beside the shin. Typically, runners who experience shin splints have overused the stabilizing muscles of the ankle as well as the dorsiflexion of the foot. The space between the tibia and the fibula has a sheath wrapped around it called the periosteum. This sheath oftentimes is rubbed raw, creating inflammation and tension on the shin bone. The muscles lining the anterior portion of the shin is the tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, and extensor hallucis longus. Sitting on a chair in a figure 4 position, locate the edge of the tibia near the thick muscle tissue. To find the tissue we're working on, push the fingers to the edge of the tibia and drop directly into the muscle tissue. Then squeeze into the bone. Move up and down the shin vigorously. After 30 to 40 seconds working in that position, we will work the opposite side of the tibia with the thumbs. Press the fingers into the soft tissue on the opposite side of the shin. Drag the thumbs up and down vigorously for 30 to 40 seconds. Ensure you work all the way from the top to the bottom of the shin. If your fingers have a hard time tolerating the pressure, you can utilize a lacrosse ball. Holding the lacrosse ball cupped in your hand, press into the muscle tissue directly beside the tibia, working your way all the way from the top of the tibia down towards the ankle. Remember to use strong pressure directly near the bone. Continue the same kind of work on the inside portion of the tibia. Here, you can use pressure from your palm pressing into the muscle tissue, while your other hand cups the ball, allowing you to create the up and down motion. Another way to work the anterior tibialis is by sitting sideways on a foam roller and leaning forward, putting pressure down into the foam roller. Obviously, this takes some balance and coordination in order to keep the pressure on the foam roller. In this position, flex the foot and relax, making sure you squeeze the anterior tibialis. Once complete with the foam roller, in the same position, utilize the lacrosse ball, creating a more pinpointed pressure on the muscle. Work your way up and down the muscle tissue right beside the shin. Typically, runners who experience shin splints have overused the stabilizing muscles of the ankle as well as the dorsiflexion of the foot. The space between the tibia and the fibula has a sheath wrapped around it called the periosteum. This sheath oftentimes is rubbed raw, creating inflammation and tension on the shin bone. The muscles lining the anterior portion of the shin is the tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, and extensor hallucis longus. Sitting on a chair in a figure 4 position, locate the edge of the tibia near the thick muscle tissue. To find the tissue we're working on, push the fingers to the edge of the tibia and drop directly into the muscle tissue. Then squeeze into the bone. Move up and down the shin vigorously. After 30 to 40 seconds working in that position, we will work the opposite side of the tibia with the thumbs. Press the fingers into the soft tissue on the opposite side of the shin. Drag the thumbs up and down vigorously for 30 to 40 seconds. Ensure you work all the way from the top to the bottom of the shin. If your fingers have a hard time tolerating the pressure, you can utilize a lacrosse ball. Holding the lacrosse ball cupped in your hand, press into the muscle tissue directly beside the tibia, working your way all the way from the top of the tibia down towards the ankle. Remember to use strong pressure directly near the bone. Continue the same kind of work on the inside portion of the tibia. Here, you can use pressure from your palm pressing into the muscle tissue, while your other hand cups the ball, allowing you to create the up and down motion. Another way to work the anterior tibialis is by sitting sideways on a foam roller and leaning forward, putting pressure down into the foam roller. Obviously, this takes some balance and coordination in order to keep the pressure on the foam roller. In this position, flex the foot and relax, making sure you squeeze the anterior tibialis. Once complete with the foam roller, in the same position, utilize the lacrosse ball, creating a more pinpointed pressure on the muscle. Work your way up and down the muscle tissue right beside the shin. Typically, runners who experience shin splints.
All right, let's go ahead and get going here. Good morning, ladies. Carol, good to see you in here. Chris, happy you're in. Oh boy. So Chris, if you have some low back issues, yes, do the SMR on the low back to fix the problem. Oh, I see. But you would be proud of me for doing the SMR work. Yes, absolutely. That is the point of the SMR work. Did I not say Carol? I thought I said Carol. Carol, yes. Carol Berg. Yeah, saying hi to Marcia yesterday. That's awesome. But yeah, the videos, that's the whole point of having access to those SMR videos, is that when you are in pain or something hurts, use the videos. That's what helps. So awesome that you recognize that and used it. That's exactly why we have these tools at our fingertips, is being able to do it whenever we need it. In case anything happens. So super, super cool. If you need to, I would definitely get back into the corrective low back routine. So making sure you're doing your clamshells, bridges, through making sure that you brace and stabilize that core. So if you need a core day again, just to try to help that out, you might try the core day again from yesterday, just to create some of that stability through the core. Otherwise, no worries. Just work through today. Same thing. Compress, compress, compress. Make sure that core is nice and tight. All right, here we go. Let's get working on our iDedicates, and then we'll go through our verse of the day. So iDedicate's pretty much lining up the same. I tried getting Sky's thing open today, but for some reason my phone wasn't connecting to the internet, so I didn't get a chance to look at it before we started class. So I'll give you guys an update on how Sky's doing here at some point today in our VIP Facebook page. But otherwise, still praying for Ethan, my friend's wife, and Peggy, all cancer treatments. Chris had an awesome post yesterday, 5 years officially cancer-free. So that is technically the cancer-free life, and they completely discharged her. She's doing so well. So congratulations to Chris. That is absolutely fantastic news. So thankful for that. Continue to pray for Erin as she gets ready for her surgery. Hopefully, was she able to get a hold?
No, not yet.
Didn't get a hold of the doc yet. So keep praying she gets through the doctor and they can get something scheduled to get her taken care of. Our verse of the day: in the fear of the Lord one has strong confidence, and his children will have a refuge. Proverbs 14:26. Let's go ahead and jump on over to our workout. Hopefully you ladies are ready for an upper body day. I know we got one in last week, but here we go. Okay, we're going to start with, remember those were just the tools that you need for your workout.
Ready.
We're going to start with just small, simple movements, get those shoulders warmed up. Then we'll work on, after the shoulders, just getting the blood pumping, then some hip, get those legs firing as we prepare for our workout. So remember though, ladies, as we get going in this workout, even though we're doing upper body, whether we're doing push-ups or flies or bench press, right? If you have bands or if you don't have bands and you're doing the routine that you see on the screen, either way, no matter what, we have to keep the basics of our movements, right? So pressing your core, squeezing your glutes, and setting your shoulders. That's the whole reason we do core day the way we did yesterday, preparing for today's movement. So make sure you keep those things on. I'll be reminding you as we go. Okay, big circles, big circles. And you guys might hear me mute here and there, just as background noise picks up with more appointments and stuff. Obviously, we're going live, so you might hear some background music or noise as we go. Okay, good internal, external rotations. Moving on. Moving. How dare I interrupt your conversation with our warm-ups?
Just came here to get updated. Yep.
See, that's one of the benefits of those who are at home. They can't be distracted by all the conversation. Unless you're talking to yourself at home, which I've done that.
Oh, I do it
All right, very good. Nice leg swings. Make sure we warm up those hips really well. How about I scoot down for you, Lois? Give room? Yeah.
Yeah, I might. Like this. So I did find
Very good. Remember, with these, it's just a pendulum swing. We're just using the weight of our leg. Just let it kind of flop back and forth. We just want to open up that hip joint and really get it just rotating in the socket. So one way to do that too is to get the toes pointed upward towards the ceiling. So it's like your foot will stay up, in and out, right? And that's going to help that joint rotate inside the socket. Motion is lotion. Trademark, Eric Dolan.
that's right.
Very good. Good, ladies. Nice hip flexor stretch. Make sure you squeeze that butt cheek. Keep that back knee straight so you really get a nice stretch from the front. So it's basically from here to the knee. You're trying to get that as open as possible.
3,
okay?
2,
From squeezing the butt
1. Get ready to roll.
Okay, set up and ready for those rows. Remember, if you're against the wall, make sure your shoulder blades are all the way back against the wall. We're not just pushing the
3,
elbows, we're actually pushing
2,
the shoulders
roll.
and the elbows. So actually, that holds true for you ladies on bands as well. Shoulders first, driving down and back, and then create your pull. And so even as we return forward, we don't want to droop the shoulders to get there. And keep your shoulders. Then create your pulls.
That's halfway.
Oh, Carol, left knee replacement, February 3rd. Total knee. I suppose we'll actually see you then, because you will sign up for physical therapy with Tim.
3,
our D-best.
2, 1. Transition to chest press.
Right, Ben? Darn right.
3, 2, 1.
Cool.
Chest press.
But, Carol, the good news is you've already done the pre-work. So getting through this will be about as easy as it could be for you. Dr. Jones.
That's
Dr.
halfway.
Jones will be replacing Carol's knee. So I told her as soon as that's done, then she can get signed up with you. Yeah. Good, ladies. Again, especially this chest press, right? Butt, squeeze your butt cheeks, tight,
3,
tight.
2,
Press that core.
1.
Squeeze, firm.
Transition to biceps curl.
Okay, good bicep curls.
Yeah, we did.
3, 2, 1.
I'm all right with that.
Biceps curl.
That's something. Good, ladies. Again, stay nice and tall. Core is compressed. Right, so if you're fighting against yourself, think there's a penny in your hand, right? And you're squishing that penny as hard as you can. So we're trying to extend one elbow and then use the bicep coming up.
That's
Bicep
halfway.
and tricep. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Don't switch hands. Nice and tall. Again, if you have bands, it should be tough. It shouldn't be easy. So make sure you stretch those bands as much as it makes it difficult to get to that end one.
3, 2, 1. Transition to triceps overhead press.
Awesome. Triceps. So if you're fighting against yourself, switch which hands on top. Switch which. You're doing extensions
3,
overhead.
2,
Try to keep
1.
shoulders out.
Triceps overhead.
No turtle shell. Get them down. Tough to do, but very important. And two, if you have a band and you're doing the extension, kind of like me up here,
That's halfway.
Shoulders out of the ears. We don't want to roll up and forward, try to extend. Right? We want those shoulders down and back. Carol, if you hear grunts and groans, that's for a hand. It's not a knee. Don't worry about that.
3, 2, 1. Transition to fly.
Okay, good. Into the flies. Again, if, you guys at home, if you're using towels against the wall and you're driving together, make sure your core stays
3,
straight. So that way
2,
you push,
1.
you don't arch your
Fly.
back trying to move. Right? You want the whole body to be a part of the movement. Right? So your core gets really tight to hold and brace yourself as you go through the movement. Okay. Good, ladies. Again, shoulders. Always be in that back position.
That's halfway.
Core day, right? That's where we learn the basic principle of scapular stability. When you're laying on the ground, shoulders are down and back with those arms straight. That's the position we're trying to get to. Okay? It's forward, but shoulders set in place. You don't want to be rolled forward.
3, 2.
Pop that beat.
Transition to pull apart.
Awesome. Pull apart or external rotations. If you're going external rotation, make sure the arms don't leave the body. You want to tuck those elbows. Still,
3,
again,
2,
set those shoulders.
1. Pull apart.
Then create that external rotation here. Okay, very good. Again, tight compression through your core. It's easy to forget that when nothing's pulling on us, right, forward or backwards. But still brace.
That's halfway.
Even get those legs nice and tight. Butt cheeks should be tight. Very good. Nobody's doing your best all the way through.
Three, 2,
Good.
1. Transition to hammer curl.
Hammer curls.
Three, 2, 1. Hammer curls.
Okay, hammer curls. Make sure we stay nice and tall. It must have got switched around a little bit. Tall.
That's halfway.
So again, shoulders. Set the shoulders. Keep those in place as we go through them. Yeah. So my son's status Monday, Tuesday last week was just imaging.
3,
So
2,
angiogram,
1.
ECG.
Transition to tricep press down.
MG, something else, and then a cath lab the following day, and then we had a bunch of consultations with doctors. So everything
3,
looks like what they expected.
2, 1. Tricep press down.
Which means the surgery Thursday, so 2 days from now, they'll still cut him open for open heart surgery, and then they'll do a new pulmonary valve, try to fix the tricuspid and bicuspid valves, and then there's some different atrial things.
That's
I
halfway.
think on the right side of his heart that they're going to try to fix a couple of those things. So I'm thinking anywhere from 3 to 4 hours in surgery on Thursday. We don't have a time yet when that'll be. I think he finds out after his negative
3,
test
2,
for COVID.
1. Rest.
They'll book him like. If anything, he'll be the first one. So should know pretty early. The doctor's nice and fresh. We want that for Micah. But also, Micah's surgeon is going to be the department.
That's halfway.
All pediatric cardiovascular surgeon, who's been doing it for some 35 years. So, a lot of confidence there. But yeah, really good team. And crazy interesting thing, I had a gal come to me
3,
for some
2, 1.
massage work.
Get ready to
She's an
roll.
anesthesiologist at Mercy, and she was actually an anesthesiologist for his old surgeon and for the surgeon
3,
that
2,
has this
1. Roll.
Dr. Duraney. So I just thought that was interesting. So she said, yeah, he is absolutely one of the best in the world at what he does. And she served with him and under him and did anesthesiology for him, and she said he had great outcomes. So that was encouraging.
That's halfway.
Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to work on just sidestepping, pushing off the back foot. So we probably need 15, 20 feet here.
3,
Very good.
2, 1. Transition to chest press.
Awesome. Okay, rotating around into the chest press. Again, same thing on your chest press here. Core tight, glutes
3,
on, then
2,
glute push.
1. Chest press.
Again, I want you to imagine that beach ball right in front of the chest. You're trying to drive your elbows into that beach ball. Right? It's not about the hands just coming together. It's about driving those elbows straight and really pinching your chest. Think the front of your armpit. Trying to squeeze that armpit.
That's halfway.
Front side. Good, good, good. Awesome work.
3,
Ladies. Remember, it was
2,
push-ups.
1. Transition to biceps curl.
Okay, bicep curls. Remember, fight against yourself here if you don't have bands. The main focus between bicep curl and
3,
hammer curl
2,
is
1. Biceps curl.
simply your hand position, right? So with palm up, it changes the distance of the tendon, right? So when I go palm to the middle, it lengthens that bicep muscle. So we end up working a different part of the muscle. So that's why we have two different sets. One palm up, palm down.
That's halfway.
And the other one is palm to a neutral position, thumbs up. Okay, so right now, palms together, press, keep those shoulder blades down and back as hard as you possibly can.
3, 2, 1. Transition to triceps overhead press.
Good. Okay, triceps, overhead. If you have bands and you're going overhead,
3,
shoulders out of the
2,
ears.
1.
If you're fighting against
Triceps
yourself, think
overhead.
hard. Good.
That's halfway. Three, 2, 1. Transition to fly. Three, 2, 1. Fly.
All right, ladies, very, very good work. Again, back to those flies. We want to pop that beach ball again. Think that muscle right here, right? That armpit muscle right up
That's
front.
halfway.
Try to squeeze together, chest together, right to the center of the sternum. Pinch that nice and tight, then go back out. Pinch nice and tight, and go back out.
3, 2, 1. Transition to pull apart.
Good. Pull aparts. Remember,
3, 2, 1. Pull apart.
nice and tall, shoulder blades down and back. Press that core tight. Squeeze those butt cheeks. Firm, firm, firm.
That's halfway.
Good. Tight, tight, tight. Again, recompress that core. Shoulders down and back. Do your absolute best.
3, 2,
Good work,
1.
ladies.
Transition to hammer curl.
Good. Hammer curls. Again, thumbs up on this one. So if you have a band, you want to
3, 2,
hands are
1.
up,
Hammer curls.
pointed upwards to create your curl. Otherwise, if you have a towel, rip your towel apart. If you don't have a towel, you can keep your hands in this position, almost like you were grabbing your thumb, but push against yourself. So just like this, but we're just going to change the position of the hands. Right? So you still fight. I like the idea
That's
of towel
halfway.
because I like that imagery of trying to rip the towel apart as you pull, right? And good core compression, still staying tall with those shoulders. Don't deviate position trying to rip or
3,
however
2,
you hold.
1. Transition to tricep press down.
Tricep press down. Last one this round.
3, 2, 1. Tricep press down.
Okay, good tricep press down. So extend those elbows. Again, if you're fighting yourself with the towel, you can either hold isometrically, just rip, 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 or as you're ripping, let your
That's
tricep
halfway.
win, then let your bicep win. Tricep win, bicep win. Okay, you can get a little bit of movement added in as you pull apart. Now, you're still trying to rip the towel, it's just you're letting one win, fighting against it. Hold, keep going
3,
all the way through.
2, 1. Rest.
Awesome. All right, so long rest. Go ahead and get a drink. We've got 2 more rounds. You're going to do your best on those 2 rounds to try to get either more resistance. Okay, so if you have weights, add the weights in, create more or greater resistance as you go, or higher repetitions. Try to get more repetition out of it. All the
That's
while,
halfway.
butt, belly, and bra strap. Squeeze those B's so we can be nice and tight the way that we should be in our posture.
3, 2, 1. Get ready to row.
Get ready to row.
Three,
Nice and
2,
tall. Compress that
1.
core.
Row.
Glutes tight. Glutes tight.
You can grab your stuff here.
So we still want our base in control.
If you want to grab your stuff, you can go
Otherwise, again, imagine that
up here.
piece of wood on your guys' back, right? And you're trying to get your shoulders, the outside of your shoulders, all the way onto that piece of wood. Okay?
That's halfway.
Again, I'm not worried about how far back the elbows go, because that'll deviate the shoulder position. So just bring your elbows to your ribs, right to the ribs, holding those shoulders down and back. You might even pinch those ribs nice and tight with those elbows. You should feel
3,
this muscle
2,
get really
1.
tight.
Transition to chest press.
Good. Take around chest press.
I'll come right over.
Three, 2, 1. Chest press.
Stay nice and tall. Squeeze that core. Shoulder blades down and back.
That's halfway.
Good, good, good. Again, if we tried push-ups at all, you can do push-ups on your knees. If you just even wanted to try it, that's fine. But make sure, again, that core is tight, glutes are on. You should have one
3,
lever
2,
Pressure is
1.
just pivoting on the
Transition
toes.
to biceps curl.
Cool. Bicep curls. Again, palm to palm. Squeeze as hard as you possibly can. If you have a band,
3,
single arm,
2,
what tension
1.
you can do.
Biceps curl.
You want palm up. Or if you happen to have hand weights at home, some of you I know have hand weights. You can just add hand weights in here and get those curls going. Very good.
That's halfway.
Again, doing your best, and recall what is your best, right? Are you needing to slow it down and get good neurological control, holding your butt, your belly, and your bra strap in place? Or do you have that down and you can start going
3,
through repetitions,
2,
resistance?
1. Transition to triceps overhead press.
Good. Triceps up overhead.
Three, 2, 1. Triceps overhead.
Very good. Again, think position. Squeeze your butt cheeks together, clench a penny between the cheeks. Compress that core like you're about to get punched in the stomach, and then shoulders down and back, out of those ears. Create
That's
a good
halfway.
extension through those elbows. Tighten down the backs of those arms.
Three, 2, 1. Transition to fly.
Okay, into the fly. And remember, pop the beach ball with the elbows.
3, 2, 1. Fly.
Staying nice and tall. Again, compress that core. Stabilize that spine. Very, very important so we don't get this shift. Because when you think about it, as I press, right, the pressure is going through my shoulders, driving my back backwards. If my hips don't stay tight, you get this pushing
That's halfway.
off of the ribs. And we don't want that. We want to stabilize that spine nice and tight. Press. Then create that drive in the center of the chest, elbows together. Firm, firm, firm. Your absolute best through the movement.
3, 2,
Great.
1. Transition to pull apart.
Okay, pull aparts. Remember, external rotation, it can be straight arm pull aparts. If we go external, elbows tight to the ribs, shoulders, set
3,
legs, right?
2,
Those back.
1. Pull apart.
Very good. All right. Good again. Create that compression. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Get your legs tight so your base, your foundation is firm.
That's halfway.
Anytime we create pushes or pulls in real life, your legs are needing to fire. Right? That's your base of support. That's what keeps you doing what you need to do. So we don't want that all relaxed and gooey.
3, 2,
Gooey is the
1.
scientific term.
Transition to hammer curl.
We don't want gooey muscles. We're creating movement. We want strong muscles.
3, 2, 1. Hammer curls.
Okay, here we go. Nice and tall and tight. Again, this is about hand position. So the hand thumbs up, basically. You have that tall, rip it apart as hard as you possibly can. And you can create movement. Just like Jacob, all the way over, or you can go isometric, like Jenny up here.
That's halfway.
Press that core tight, tight, tight. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Get those legs nice and firm. Hold those shoulders. Very good, ladies.
3, 2, 1. Transition to tricep press down.
Awesome. Okay. Tricep press down. And stay tall and tight. Shoulder blades down and back. Extend those
3,
elbows.
2,
Down.
1.
The backs of those
Tricep press
arms.
down.
Tighten down the back of the arms. Very good. And squeeze. Squeeze the bees. Butt, belly, bra strap. Tight. Tight. Each one.
That's halfway.
Right? That's one of those that should be on a continual loop. Right? Like squeeze your butt cheeks. Squeeze that belly tight. Hold those shoulder blades down and back. Butt, belly, and bra strap. Squeeze them. All the way through. Almost there.
3,
Finish.
2, 1. Rest.
Awesome. All right, long rest. Go ahead and get a drink. And ready to go. That's 3 already. 1 more. Uno más.
That's halfway.
Very good.
3, 2, 1. Get ready to roll.
Again, main focus,
3,
last round,
2,
shoulder blades
1.
in place,
Roll.
upper body work. So that's our main focus. Pull them behind your ears, okay? Your shoulders should disappear from sight. So I can see them here in my peripheral vision. I want them to completely disappear. Or stick the boobs up. How about that? That helps too, right?
That's halfway.
Lifting the chest rather than collapsing forward. Okay? Lift the chest, hold down and back. Nice and hard.
Three, 2, 1. Transition to chest press.
Right.
3, 2,
Good chest press.
1.
Same thing.
Chest press.
Okay. Another way to think of this too is like a hook comes underneath your rib cage, right under your sternum, and it lifts your sternum up to the ceiling. Okay? So that way we're not falling and collapsing forward. We want to lift tall, hold those shoulder blades
That's halfway.
down and back. Again, it's down towards that, the bottom of that bra strap. All the way down to the center of the back. And we're not just pinching together, we want down and together. Almost like you're going to tuck them in your back hip
3,
joints.
2, 1. Transition to biceps curl.
Awesome. Okay, bicep curls. Make sure you stay nice and tall. Press that core. Shoulder blades down and back.
3,
Always those
2,
main position.
1. Biceps curl.
Right, we get the posture right, other things start to fall in line. Our limbs kind of fall right in line. So when you think about the torso and then the extremities, if we can focus on this first, the other things will start to fall into place. Right? So that's why we say butt, right? So the base of
That's
the
halfway.
the belly, the main thing that keeps the torso on top of the hips, and then the bra strap, right? Keeps our shoulders in alignment so we don't grind our shoulder joints in poor position. Important, important, important.
3, 2, 1. Transition to triceps overhead press.
Good, triceps up overhead. As we do the overhead movement, shoulders are down and back. If you're fighting against yourself, just switch hands. And remember, crush
3,
that penny
2,
fat.
1. Triceps overhead.
Very good. Nice, tight compression. Shoulder blades down and back. Your absolute best. Very good.
That's halfway.
Tight, 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 tight. Awesome. And shoulders, shoulders out of those ears. Your best. And glutes, core, nice and tight.
3, 2, 1. Transition to fly.
Cool. In the flies. Keep that spine
3,
braced as you
2,
create your fly.
1. Fly.
Very good. Correct, Carol. SMR every other day. Good core compression again.
That's halfway.
Legs down, back. Press that core nice and tight. Glutes on, nice and firm. Awesome. Core
3,
compress, tight,
2,
tight.
1. Transition to pull apart.
Wonderful. Okay, pull aparts.
Three, 2, 1. Pull apart.
Tall and tight. Core compress, shoulder blades down and back. Again, external rotation. Make sure you keep that elbow tight to the ribs, but also not just tight to the ribs, but shoulders behind the ears that create
That's halfway.
your external rotation. So the whole point is that the shoulders don't ever move. Right? The shoulders should always stay here. So I'm not dropping while I go in. Right? You want to hold those tight through the whole movement.
3,
Very
2,
good.
1. Transition to hammer curl.
Cool. You ready for the hammer curl? Just a couple left, ladies, then we're all done. We're gonna get back
3,
into some of the SMR.
2, 1. Hammer curls.
Good hammer curls. Stay nice and tall. Press that core tight, tight, tight. Again, doing your best through the workout.
That's halfway.
Good, good, good. Again, squeeze the glutes, squeeze those shoulders. Don't deviate your postural position. Try and get more out of it. We want to maintain posture while we create the
3, 2, 1. Transition to tricep press down.
Last one. Here we go. Get set up and ready.
3, 2, 1. Tricep press down.
Good. Tricep press downs. Stay nice and tall. Core compress. Shoulders down and back. Squeeze firm, firm, firm.
That's halfway.
Very good, ladies. Stay tall. Press that core. Think that belly whack's coming for you. You're gonna get hit in the stomach.
3,
Tight,
2,
tight, tight.
1. Way to be rock star.
Well, very, very good work, ladies. We are all done for today. Tomorrow we've got a leg day workout, so we will get that butt really squeezing through movement. So that'll be exciting. We're gonna get your butt moving. Awesome. I hope you ladies have an absolutely fantastic day. We're gonna get back into the shin splints. Remember, if you don't have a problem with the shin splints, just go back to our dashboard on the Hey Marvelous site. Pick one that you need to work through. If you don't seemingly have any issues, you might just do today's anyway and find that, oh wow, maybe I had an issue there I didn't know about, and then we can be preventative in the way that we're doing our exercises, in the way that we're using our SMR, right? So the more we stay preventative, the less we should have to worry about ensuing pains, right? Things coming to get us by surprise. So you are very welcome, Carol and Chris. Have an absolutely wonderful day. I will see you guys again tomorrow. As always, ladies, I am here to help you move well so you live well.
Typically, runners who experience shin splints have overused the stabilizing muscles of the ankle as well as the dorsiflexion of the foot. The space between the tibia and the fibula has a sheath wrapped around it called the periosteum. This sheath oftentimes is rubbed raw, creating inflammation and tension on the shin bone. The muscles lining the anterior portion of the shin is the tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, and extensor hallucis longus. Sitting on a chair in a figure 4 position, locate the edge of the tibia near the thick muscle tissue. To find the tissue we're working on, push the fingers to the edge of the tibia and drop directly into the muscle tissue. Then squeeze into the bone. Move up and down the shin vigorously. After 30 to 40 seconds working in that position, we will work the opposite side of the tibia with the thumbs. Press the fingers into the soft tissue on the opposite side of the shin. Drag the thumbs up and down vigorously for 30 to 40 seconds. Ensure you work all the way from the top to the bottom of the shin. If your fingers have a hard time tolerating the pressure, you can utilize a lacrosse ball. Holding the lacrosse ball cupped in your hand, press into the muscle tissue directly beside the tibia, working your way all the way from the top of the tibia down towards the ankle. Remember to use strong pressure directly near the bone. Continue the same kind of work on the inside portion of the tibia. Here, you can use pressure from your palm pressing into the muscle tissue, while your other hand cups the ball, allowing you to create the up and down motion. Another way to work the anterior tibialis is by sitting sideways on a foam roller and leaning forward, putting pressure down into the foam roller. Obviously, this takes some balance and coordination in order to keep the pressure on the foam roller. In this position, flex the foot and relax, making sure you squeeze the anterior tibialis. Once complete with the foam roller, in the same position, utilize the lacrosse ball, creating a more pinpointed pressure on the muscle. Work your way up and down the muscle tissue right beside the shin.